Hey!
Yay!
We made it! We did it!
When did you land, though? An hour ago?
Oh, me? Oh, so I landed an hour and a half ago. I got back to my apartment. I almost said hotel. Back to my apartment
Oh,
probably about
Well,
30
oh
minutes ago.
no.
I
Took a
mean,
shower.
isn't
Here I am.
isn't isn't your apartment really kind of a hotel now? Because you spend
No one
more.
cleans it for
You
me.
live in
To,
hotels
to be
and
fair,
you just kind of visit your apartment.
home is where the Smeagol is.
Home is where
That's
the
true.
Smeagol is. That's right. I love that.
So
That's
I
beautiful.
always position it. So when the first thing I see when they open my door is Smeagol looking at me, it kind of makes me smile.
It's like your little dog welcoming you.
Yeah, like, oh.
All right, Federico is joining us.
Hey!
Man.
Hello, Italy. If you're in Italy, you could be
Buongiorno.
anywhere now.
Was that correct? Buongiorno. Is that Italian?
Yeah, it's like Brad Pitt in Inglourious Bastards. Buongiorno.
Oh. I mean, I at least tried a little bit to do
Yeah.
an accent. Anyway. Well, we're having to have Brandon on the show. Apparently, there's somebody else that works at a science center that misses him when he's not on the show. So, you know, this
I
is
guess
for
we
you.
don't count.
This is for you. We brought Brandon in for you. We flew him in for.
You and I don't count.
We don't count.
No.
No.
All right.
No.
Is it time? Are we doing this?
Yeah, we can do it. Brandon, count me in.
All right, and in 4, 3.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Cosmos with Cosmos. I'm Liz.
I'm Mike.
I'm Brandon.
He's here. He made
Hey.
it. He did it. I can't point the right way. In
No,
the
you're
screen.
pointing everywhere.
It's all foobarred
I
there.
can't do it either.
I know.
There we go.
Well, good. You did it. You did it. Well,
Yeah,
if
no,
you're
I
listening to
fixed
this,
one of
we're trying to point at Brandon on our screen, and it's just.
It's
Which
marriage.
it's a
chaos,
two-dimensional
but,
object, so you just
yeah.
point forward. I'm probably
And
there.
then- Stay there. Right there. Anyway, we got another High in the Sky episode for you, but this will be our last episode of the season. We'll be back in a month.
September 24th.
Don't you mean a
basically.
month?
A month. We'll be
Hey.
back with, I guess, our next seasons, what have you.
I think it's funny we call them seasons where we just
We
take
basically
a break.
get to around like August or September and we're like, all right,
Yeah,
well,
we need a second.
we're gonna take some time and then you know. But anyway, so before we get to what's up in the sky and astronomy news that we like to cover on these episodes, Brandon,
Yeah.
what are you drinking?
So first of all, I'm drinking water because I just spent the last
That's
5,
fair.
6 hours on different airplanes.
That is very fair.
And so my backup drink is then the time zone of mystery.
Oh,
I don't know where I am. So it is. I think I've had it on the show before. Some kind of Scotch, Averna, and liqueur 43.
all right. How fucked up will Brandon be when we go to the Hangover? When I'm assuming he will get to that.
I'm
drink.
glad he wrote down the thing he wants to talk about because
It's just one drink and the water. I will
it'll be
survive,
fine.
as
It'll be fine.
Gloria Gaynor once said.
I don't know, man.
Anyway, Mike, what are you drinking?
I'm calling it the Vikram.
Ah.
Hey,
It is
mason jar.
it is bourbon with creme de cassis. It's also got lemon juice and some simple syrup in it and a couple of dashes of some bitters.
Ooh.
And it's garnished with some beautifully big and sweet blackberries. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Liz.
I am going simple today, and I'm just having a little Ghost Captain Space Hop.
Very
IPA. Space Hop. I'm space hopping. We're going to be space hopping around the sky, so
All
I'm
right.
space hopping today. I don't know if I'm allowed to. Am I allowed to say real brand names on?
I
don't know
was
what
gonna
the
say
rules
they
is.
now
Do I have
owe
to
us
be
money.
like, well,
One of those black tapes, yeah.
yeah, like
You have to find us first.
it's a
Aha.
drinking show, so we'll promote your stuff for free, and then you
Well,
can pay us for
They,
it.
yeah, they sponsor us. They can sponsor us. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
But
they
it-
can. You can sponsor
Hey,
us.
I see what you did there, because drinking
Oh
out
my
of a
God.
can.
Yeah.
For those of you listening.
Thank you. Katie's going to be having some rosé when we get to the hangover. Nice.
Why
Katie,
wait?
I like it.
Why wait though?
You know.
Jump in.
Wow. I think you may be right. This one, like, I've had 2 drinks and it's already settling in.
Yeah. Of
More
course
water
it is.
for Brandon.
Anyway, of course, follow us on all the things at Drinking Cosmos on X.
Yeah.
Cosmos with Cosmos. Everywhere else.
I'm a Twitter stan. It's Twitter. I'm not.
I mean,
I'm
it's
not gonna put
twitter.com.
I mean, it should
You can't. What are they
be-
going to change the
It
domain?
should be.
Anyway,
you know,
it doesn't matter.
Just
Whatever.
because of who it is, we should call it Twitter.
Just
to
be
piss
those
them off.
petulant like.
Yeah.
I'm up for that.
That's fair, Katie. Always listen to your tummy, let me tell you. Listen to us on Spotify or whatever podcast platform you like. And, of course, check us out on YouTube, where you can see our wonderful faces coming at you. And then, of course, if you want to see some other cool things, check out some other cool stuff, you can look up Wildixia, Wildixia on Etsy for some really awesome art by my talented and amazing sister who listens to her tummy. MrProctorShow.com, or Buddy Ron Proctor, he has another website, but I can't remember what it's called now, and I keep forgetting to look it up before we could do the show. But, he's an all-around good guy, educator, planetarian, Blender pro, and I know he's been doing some Blender tutorials, and he's coming out with a book
A lot
or
like
something.
Eve 6. Anyone? Because they can put the heart in the blender and watch it spin around.
I got you.
Oh, okay. Is that what that lyric is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever looked up the actual lyric. Now we have a Nat joining
Well,
us.
if you want to know lyrics, just ask me in The Hangover, and I can tell you them word for word.
Oh,
It's actually one of my least favorite songs.
the Eve 6 song, yeah. And our good buddy Jack Northrop over at the Rolling Bluffs Planetarium in Council Bluffs, Iowa. If you're in that neck of the woods or plains, fields,
Yeah, it's gonna be
plains. If you're in the neck of
It's
the
in the
plains,
southwest corner of Iowa.
check out his planetarium, and he'll give you a good time
Near
of a show.
Nebraska.
That means something different after the hotel I just stayed in. That's a hangover story.
Okay, that's true. It'll give you a good space time. And of course, every other Wednesday, we have The Shot. Little shot-sized bits of astronomy science that come at you. And they're lots of fun. So we had one come out just recently.
Recording one today.
We'll be recording one later today. That'll come out in the Wednesday after this show is released on Spotify and stuff. So check them out if you want something short and educational and fun and hilarious.
I don't know how hilarious mine's going to be today. But...
and of course, we have some rules or, a game, a drinking game to go along with it. If you hear any dogs barking, take a drink. They're pretty quiet right now, for now. If we make any Star Wars or Lord of the Rings references, also take a drink, because we're nerds.
Yeah, take a drink if Brandon passes out.
Yes,
We take
Brandon
more
passes
than one
out.
drink.
Brandon dies during the show.
I think that is the special rule. If you see me zone out and you talk to me and I do not respond, you take a drink.
Take a drink.
Okay.
Brandon's
that
lost
actually is a
between
good rule.
time zones. That's what he's time zoning. Time zoning out.
So it is 2 p.m. my time currently. That means I left for the airport at 3:15 a.m. my time.
But that was...
And that means I woke up at 2:45 my time.
Oh, so you left at 3:15 Mountain Time.
Yes.
Okay.
I did some quick math in my head, which I can do simple addition at the moment, but that's it. That's all. Those are the limits
no
of my cognitive
trigonometry.
abilities.
basically 11 hours ago.
Yeah.
Snat is gonna drive me crazy. Downsides of living in a
Okay,
forest.
focus.
All right. Let's get high as this gnat should be in the sky.
You're a professional.
for-
You can do this.
Have you watched the show? For September, since we will be out
Hey.
all of September, taking a break, except for September 24th when we come back. When we thought we'd check out what's going to be up there, a few things, and then get up some recent astronomy news, because there's some good stuff that's happened. And then when we return, we'll check out the night sky for October.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which sounds spooky.
Yeah. So constellations coming up in September. We're changing seasons
Are
pretty
we?
soon here. Yeah, pretty soon.
Oh, we do live in a place where the seasons do change.
We
Yeah.
do. We
Nice.
do.
That means it's time to back up your systems for any Planetarium users out there.
There you go.
Okay.
Always back it up. Always back it up.
That is our support message for the day.
Planetarians back it up in the dark. Constellations, as we switch seasons, we got fall ones that are going to be rising in the east late in the evening.
that means.
And so, of course, we have about mid-September, early in the evening, but probably about 10 p.m. local time, is the classic fall constellation set of the iconic story known in pop culture as Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans.
We got the cast. We got Cassiopeia, the arrogant queen. We got Cepheus, the know-nothing king, who let's just,
Yeah, he's just kind of there, isn't he?
He's just kind of there, really. He just kind of exists. We got Andromeda, the quirky princess heroine of the story. We got Perseus, our hero.
Is she really a heroine?
I don't know. She's chained to a wall. That's all she
also
does,
kind of
really.
exists.
She exists. She's the reason for the story, kind of.
She did provide a pretty essential plot point.
So,
really,
she
the
has
main
one
plot point,
role.
you could say.
Perseus with a special appearance with the head of Medusa. And of course, the most lovable, our favorite flying horse of all mythology, Pegasus.
That's got to be your mom's favorite horse. It better be your mom's favorite horse.
Pegasus.
Pegasus.
Which, if Disney tells us anything, was made by Zeus taking a lump of cloud, molding it into a fun horse shape for his son, Hercules.
Oh, I like that. It's been so long since I've watched the Disney Hercules movie. Brandon has it
holds
memorized.
up. It's a fabulous movie.
I always like Hades,
he always
even
puts
though
the
he's
cloud in
played
Gladiator.
by that guy that's gross. James, whatever his name is. I don't know. He's very conservative.
Oh, 80s. Him.
Yeah.
Woods.
Woods, James Woods, yeah. So we got this whole cast of Greek mythological beings. And so in the northeast, we have the W of Cassiopeia. So the W shape that you see in the northeast, it does look like, it's pretty much, it's a little tilted, yeah. Anyway,
West side.
that's what I was. Cassiopeia side. Cast side. Anyway, this W is very easy to spot even in light polluted skies. It has bright stars, and really you can see it all year round. It's just going to be higher in the sky earlier, throughout most of the night in the fall, whereas maybe it might in the spring it's more lower on the horizon.
Or at least like when we go out and look at it, like because we all go out like right after sunset, look, and then that's
Everybody
it.
does.
That's the only part of the sky.
Yeah.
Never mind what happens at 3 a.m. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can find her up there. And she, Cassiopeia, she was very vain in mythology. She's not like a real person. But in the myth, she's a very vain figure. And she's kind of like the evil queen in Snow White, actually, now that you think about it. She wants to be the most beautiful in all the land. And her daughter, Andromeda, was very beautiful. And she was jealous of her beauty. Am I not telling this correctly?
I'm here for the ride.
I should have looked it up to refresh my memory on this story. But anyway, so Cassiopeia, this vain woman, who, she was so, I got it now. I got it. It's coming back. It's coming back. I got it.
She's so vain that she probably thinks the story's about her.
Okay. Here's what happened. Cassiopeia was running her mouth.
There you go.
Claiming that she was more beautiful than Hera, queen of the Greek gods. No, Hera.
Her daughter
Oh, no.
was more beautiful.
Oh, that
I
her
was-
daughter
yeah.
was. Oh, I almost had it. Oh,
You almost
she
had it.
they
You were
wouldn't
there.
have known.
She's so incredibly proud of her daughter that she claims her the most
Yes,
beautiful
okay.
thing in existence, more beautiful even than the queen of the gods herself, Hera. And then what does Hera do?
Hera gets real pissed off because you don't fuck with Hera. And Hera decides that Cassiopeia, well, first of all, she chains Andromeda to a rock to be sacrificed by a sea monster, the Kraken, aka Cetus, which is another constellation. But then,
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
Oh my
all right.
goodness.
Here we go. Here's the story.
Take it away, Mike. We'll just jump.
All right, I'll pick it
What?
up where Cassiopeia says that Andromeda is more beautiful than
okay,
Hera.
okay, let's see where
Hera's
I went
pissed
off the rails.
And what does she do? She makes it so that a massive sea monster is unleashed and just ravishes the coastline of up and down the coastline of
wherever this Greek,
wherever they live.
whichever Greek city-state it took place in.
So the sea monster Cetus, really, the constellation of the sky,
we know it as the Kraken.
destroying things, and they find out that the only way to get rid of this sea monster is to sacrifice their daughter Andromeda to it.
You know what?
That's when she's going to eventually get chained to the rock.
I mean, I may have been telling it that there were two punishments. A, Andromeda has to be sacrificed to a sea monster, and B, Cassiopeia was then put in the sky where half the year she has to be upside down. And can you imagine what that's going to do to her complexion? She's going to get upside down wrinkles.
Well, that is true. That part is true. She does spend half the year.
Yeah,
and
that's her punishment for being so
then
vain.
enters Perseus, the hero of the story.
Yes.
And
Perseus.
he finds out that, he ends up killing Medusa,
Yes, because her eyes turn men into stone.
puts her in a bag, puts her head in a
Head in the
bag,
bag. What's in the bag?
jumps on Pegasus,
Yow.
and Pegasus flies to where Andromeda is chained to the rock. I mean, this is like the real. I mean, we really should. I mean, we've already told this story.
We have an entire episode where it's just
We
the
do have an
story.
entire episode, but we should tell it again maybe in the where we each have parts and.
Well, they
I
haven't
agree.
heard Liz's version until now.
No one has.
And so, yeah, even the Greeks didn't hear it, and they were there. And so
I was there again.
Pegasus flies Perseus to where Andromeda is. Wait a minute, what?
He
I made the reference.
He made it.
What was
Lord of the Rings. He
that?
said, I was there, Gandalf.
That was
We are butchering this.
That is
No, it's
like an
good.
obscure reference, but anyway, so Perseus shows up right when the sea monster
in the
is
nick of
coming
time.
out of the
Classic,
water,
yes.
heading towards Andromeda, and
She's
Pegasus
flailing.
flies all around Perseus. It really is like the King Kong, like the 1930s King Kong with the biplane,
yeah.
are
So
flying
it's the
around.
ancient Greek King Kong story.
And he is like swatting. But anyway, so
That'd be amazing
basically
if actually
Perseus
that was
pulls
a-
the head of Medusa out of the bag and turns the sea monster to stone, and it falls into the ocean, all that kind of stuff, and becomes the coral. That's how coral is formed. But
To say,
know
hence
that
the legend
part.
of Atlantis was formed.
yeah.
Oh.
So the reason why it's called the Clash of the Titans is because the sea monster and Medusa are titans, and they really are battling each other with that at the end.
Oh.
So it's not like Perseus
That
is
makes-
a titan.
No, I never said he was a titan.
No. So you don't really get that.
I was just thinking how the Greek gods were always bickering, and it's the clash of them bickering. But I didn't think of the Titans. That makes so much more sense.
I bet Cepheus is like a titan of industry. So there's that. thrown in as
Oh, well done. That's a Liz.
Now, is he a captain of industry or a robber baron?
He's probably a captain. He's not a robber baron.
Okay.
He's got a kingdom.
So it's a great story. It actually is one of my
that
most
I've
favorite stories.
somehow just totally redone
Oh
in
my
my
goodness.
head.
We both jumped in to try to get us back on track.
All right,
But
okay.
really, it is truly my favorite story.
It
of
is
the sky.
it's my favorite too, and you can spot basically I'd say pretty much all the constellations. Okay, Andromeda and
Cetus is a bit tough,
Perseus.
though.
Well, Cetus, yeah.
Cetus is tough.
Andromeda
Cetus
and
is
Perseus
like a banana.
are you're going to be helped out with like a star map because they're pretty faint. Although Andromeda, basically what you'll have in the eastern part of the sky rising, we'll say around 10 p.m. local time, you'll look for a big square of stars. It's a very obvious square, and that's the great square of Pegasus. So it's the body of Pegasus, and then it has like a head and a neck and like a couple legs.
Yeah, to me, it actually looks like what it's supposed to.
It does. It's kind of like the front half of a horse.
Yeah.
Which is the better half of a horse, if I'm being honest.
Well, yeah. The ass end. A lot of stuff happens at the ass end, including getting kicked.
Which has happened to me at the ass end. I've been kicked. I grew up with horses.
I'm
I
glad
grew up
you're
with
okay.
horses. I've had hot wire zaps and horse kicks.
Never pee on a hot
And
wire.
horse stepping on my
Oh,
my
that
foot.
reminds me, don't whiz on the electric fence
Don't
for your
whiz
Ren
on.
and Snippy fans.
Yes. But always have a log. Get a log.
It's better than bad. It's good. Y'all should just join us for the hangover.
Yeah.
This is already like a half hangover episode.
so-
That's the season.
Coming off of Pegasus, off of one of the stars of the square,
Actually, the ass end of
the
it.
ass end of Pegasus is an A for ass end of is an A for Andromeda. And that will be our beautiful princess as the ass end of Pegasus. And lo and behold, within the constellation of Andromeda, underneath her, like I think, right armpit, if you have very, very dark skies,
Like we have. Woo!
or binoculars, or a telescope, there will be a little fuzzy patch of hair in her armpit. And that little fuzzy ball, that little fuzzy ball,
Neither have I.
is
Neither
an
have I.
entire galaxy that's bigger, that's larger than our Milky Way galaxy, and it is, of course, known as the Andromeda Galaxy.
It's also larger than the full moon.
In our sky, it's larger than the full moon, but it's so
I
far
think it is.
away.
The galaxy is bigger.
It's so far away that, we can't see all of that with just our puny human limited eyeballs.
I don't think I'll ever forget the first time I saw it in a telescope in Saturn.
It just looks like a fuzzy cotton ball. Like
my
it's just
first
a wisp. It's a wisp of cloud.
Yeah, but then when you understand what it is.
Did no one get my wisp of cloud?
Oh, Gimli.
Oh. Okay. Nothing. It's just a wisp of cloud. But you can't just say wisp of cloud. That's 3 words. But I'll still drink to it.
But
Sorry,
I gave a look.
what's the word? Ornery? Is that what I'm going to say?
I missed a look.
I said it in a cadence. Anyway.
I would love to watch Lord of the Rings tonight. That or Clash of the Titans.
Actually,
1989 version. Clash of the Titans.
As I was standing in my shower after 8 hours on the plane, I thought I need to watch Lord of the Rings tonight. But the Clash of the Titans might actually happen.
You know, we
version.
the 3 of us should watch Clash of the Titans and just Skype, Zoom, whatever it is that we want to do.
The watch party. We'll do watch party.
Join us
party.
as we live tweet Clash of the Titans tonight.
Oh shit, we should.
Oh
We
gosh, we're
should.
getting all right, reining it in.
Why are you
Andromeda
pushing me
Galaxy,
away?
Andromeda
You're the
Galaxy.
host.
You're getting excited.
What's
It's
going
gonna
on
go.
with
We've already gone so
Brandon?
far off the
Is there
rails.
Venus in the sky?
Anyway, we're still on fucking hanging out with the cast of Clash of the Titans right
Well,
now.
we already told the story.
Andromeda Galaxy. All right, so in the armpit of Andromeda, Perseus is right behind Andromeda on his way to save her. And I'd say the brightest star in Perseus, it's a fairly dim constellation, but it's a reddish star called Algol.
The demon
The
star.
demon star, because
Is that the
it's
same star that invented the internet? Sorry, we are way off course today.
that's all right. But it's the head of the Medusa, basically, or the eye of Medusa. So that star is most visible in.
You know what is crazy about Algol is that so Algol is a variable star, so
I
it
can't
brightens
not
it.
hear Al Gore now.
I'm sorry.
I did say Al Gore,
You
right?
did.
You did.
You're saying it correctly.
Okay, but you heard
Brandon's
Al
ruined
Gore.
my brain right now.
You know what's crazy about Al Gore?
No.
He's cyclic. No, anyway, Al Gore is a variable star, so it fades and brightens and all that kind of stuff. There are still people today, and when it is at its brightest, it's considered bad luck. And so there are still people today that when it's at its brightest will not fucking look at it. So I guess what I envision is these people like on their refrigerator just have algal charts.
When not.
Don't look at algal
Don't
here.
look at it then.
So the day we start selling Cosmos and Cosmos merchandise, we need this light curve so we can put it on our refrigerators as magnets.
That would be good. That would be good. I like that.
We really should do merch.
But anyway, so algal, check it out. Or don't check it out, depending on your superstition.
One of the textbooks that Jack we're looking at had it spelled as Al
and Gol.
A-L
It's
space
one
G-O.
word. I mean, maybe it's hyphenated, though, in Arabic, though.
I thought it was just one word.
I mean, we write it as one word, but it is an Arabic word.
It is Arabic,
in fact, most star names are
yeah.
Arabic. Aldebaran.
Man, all the textbooks are going to shit.
Well, I mean, I think they're made. A lot of them are made. Companies make them in Texas.
Maybe.
Anyway, what?
Texas.
Some say there are no English stars.
Oh God.
This is a long show, folks.
This is what happens
You
when
know
Brandon's
what I
on.
love is like Brandon's like, I'm gonna have to drink water. He's making all these references. We've had more take a drinks than we've had. Anyway.
When my mind doesn't work, it tries to connect references to where I can understand. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Leaving the Clash of the Titans family behind, one more
Really
constellation. One more constellation that will be rising in the east. That you'll be able to spot part of it. You'll be able to spot one of its fish heads, and this is Pisces, and it's called the Circlet of Pisces. It'll be like kind of a circlet. It'll look like a little circlet of stars.
So
Below Perseus, and so that's Pisces. Nothing to do with your, nothing to do with anything other than it's a constellation that will be rising.
So it's a little too early in the sky right now, but no, I'm not going there. Continue on.
Oh, no.
Continue
Okay,
on.
so
Planets.
mid-September, rising in the east. Planets. Moving on, we got planets, of course. We always have planets.
That's an infestation of planets in the solar
In fact,
system.
the planets are always visible. Are always up in the sky all the time. It's just sometimes the sun is also up and the sun's really bright, so it just blocks out everything else. Oh no. So Venus will be setting in the morning sky now in September. At September 18th, it'll actually be at its greatest brightness. And again, it's in the morning sky. And it's the third brightest object in our evening sky.
And
so
that makes it the morning star.
it will be the morning star. It's either referred to as the morning star or evening star. And currently it's in the morning star. And you're right, Jack. The sun is such a bully. It's always just getting in the way of everybody, blocking their light from reaching
Also,
us.
shooting like particle beams at
I know.
planets and shit.
It's shooting like lasers
God.
at us all the time.
There are literal photons going through you right now from the sun.
Yeah.
And charged particles and
rude.
neutrinos.
It's rude.
The worst.
Friggin'
It's
bully.
rude.
I hate the sun.
Well-
We'd be better without it.
We would all die horrible deaths, or never have existed in the first place. Also in the morning sky is Mercury. Now Mercury is tough to spot a lot of times. It sticks close to the sun. It's the closest planet to the sun in the solar system. It's its little buddy. Its little pal. And so usually it's too close to the sun for us to be able to see it. However, it will be visible in the early morning sky right before sunrise,
Sunrise, yeah.
in
It's
the
gonna
early
be by
morning
the
sky, right
sun.
before sunrise. On 9/23, on September 23rd, it will have its peak. It will have its peak altitude in the sky, so its peak separation from the sun. So that is actually the best time to be able to see it.
You really gotta keep them separated.
Is that greatest? Oh, well done. Offspring reference. That's greatest Western elongation.
Yeah,
right?
because it's
west of
rising
the
in
sun.
It's no. Yeah. It's west of the sun.
We actually should see if we could see it. I don't think we're going to be able to because so many trees and mountains.
It's going to be 16 degrees above the horizon before sunrise.
Like a hand.
And your fist, if you hold it up to the sky, the fist is about 10. Your fist is about 10 degrees.
Yeah, no, we're not.
But isn't it if you hold out your outstretched hand like that, doesn't that make up another 3-5 degrees depending on the hand? So that's 15 right there. So 10, 15?
I don't know. I just know a fist is roughly 10 degrees.
I guess you add the thumb in there. That's 12 degrees.
Everybody you can...
I love
I'm not gonna
how
say the joke.
the people on Spotify hear this kind of a little bit of silence, and it's us sitting there sticking our fists out.
We're all just have our
We're all
fists
doing
out.
this stupid stuff with our hands.
But if you don't want to, be up right before sunrise, if you're more of a late
I really
sleeper,
don't want to be up right before
but we
sunrise.
are. But if you're more of a night owl or like to be out at night, Jupes and Saturn, they'll be up all night. They'll rise early in the evening. And you'll be able to catch them all night. And Jupiter is very bright. It is the second brightest object in the nighttime sky, next to the moon. And
Wait a minute, what? Jupiter is?
no, I'm sorry, it's the third bright. No, wait, Venus is the second brightest object.
Sun, Moon, Venus,
Jupiter's
Jupiter.
the third brightest object. I called Venus.
And then depending where the
brightest
ISS
object.
is in your night sky as well, that could be a little brighter.
And you can find out by going where is ISS.com or just Google where's the ISS and you can find out when the ISS will fly over you. So the big gassies, they'll be up for us in September. Big gassies.
It just acknowledged that the anniversary of a demise of a planet, Pluto.
I mean, it still exists.
I was like, Vulcan?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It's fine.
Pluto does not exist
Pluto doesn't
anymore.
even know that we've named it Pluto.
Pluto.
It's a cold.
Pluto died in August of 2006, 17 years ago. Pluto died.
Now, a weird thing is happening with Pluto and the missions there. Of course, we had New Horizons past Pluto, but in the newest proposed budget for NASA, it basically cancels New Horizons in the Kuiper Belt.
What?
No!
Yeah, so it significantly decreases the budget to basically where all we're going to be able to do is hear it, and that's it, as opposed to doing science in the Kuiper Belt. And when it leaves the Kuiper Belt in 2025, 2026, I think is an estimated time frame, we just won't get anything. So if you're
this
upset
is like
about
our
that,
only chance to study the Kuiper Belt because it takes so long to get there and we haven't had anything to go there.
Is this from Congress or is this a NASA decision?
So it's kind of both in that Congress will levy down the budget and NASA has to pick and choose which of its children to kill.
So talk to your congressman. Reach out to your congressman.
Very Christian.
What?
Which of its children to kill? All right, Cain and Abel.
Oh, no.
That friggin' sucks.
Breaking news.
And to be fair, the budget it needs to continue doing science is $10 million, which is nothing compared to anything in the U.S. budget.
Like the military.
You could not build one plane.
Bomber?
Don't build one plane.
Oh, I did my part when I was doing.
Pick a plane. It doesn't matter what plane it is.
Any plane, any military plane. Don't build it and give that money.
Repair of an old.
Yeah.
Thing.
All right.
Oh, that hurts. I should not have brought up Pluto.
We didn't know.
But that is part of the
You
news.
didn't know.
That's why we're here.
But Pluto was demoted to a dwarf planet, quote unquote, 17 years ago.
It is a dwarf.
17 years ago, right about this time. I think it was August 24th or 26th, something like that. So, 17th anniversary. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Pluto, we love you.
We love you.
We love you. And you're like one of the largest dwarf planets, so good. It works out in your favor anyway. And you can still make pizzas. So some other shit up there.
Literally, that's what it says.
I know, it's my new segment title. It was just other shit.
That's what happened.
September 1st, a minor meteor shower that isn't really going to be that visible, but I thought I'd just point it out anyway. The Aurigid meteor shower, which originates in the constellation of Auriga, the eagle. There's only about 6 per hour. The moon is going to be 92% illuminated.
You're not really going to see a lot.
But you could if you're out, and see a streak
And
across the sky, then you may have seen an Orion.
And this is why in earlier meteor showers, that's why you catch the falling stars and put them in your pocket to save them from this day.
Is that a Lord of the Rings? Is that Ellen?
No, it's a song from the 1950s.
Oh.
Catch a falling star and put it in your
Oh,
pocket.
God,
Save
I'm
it
sorry.
for a rainy day.
We're not as old as you, Brandon.
But anyway, Auriga will be right after sunset, probably pretty high up.
Yeah, it's a summertime constellation. It's part of the summer triangle.
So it'll be up. But since it's 6 meters per hour, which isn't a lot,
No.
and the moon's pretty bright, you don't see anything, and if you do, it's going to be near the horizons.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're curious, Auriga or Auriga is the eagle that brought the lightning
Did you
bolts to
just
Zeus.
correct me?
I don't know how to say it. I always say it.
No one
Auriga.
knows how to say any of these. We just make it up as we go.
Federico knows.
Federico
That's because
always
he's
knows.
European. He's
He's better than
Italian.
us.
He's better.
They have a better
They
education
know more languages. They don't
I know
put in all
Elvish
of our
to an extent,
American
and some
bullshit.
Klingon.
I mean, anyway, on September 4th, my dad's birthday, Moon and Jupiter are going to be close together. They're going to be hanging out. They're going to be having their own little Moon-Jupiter party. Going to do a little meet and greet. They will be 3 degrees apart from each other,
What's
which
it
is
going to
3
be?
degrees.
No. The way that you said Moon Jupiters.
Meet and greet? Meet and
Oh,
greet?
meet and greet. I heard because you don't come through my headphones. I heard Moon Jupiters.
Moon and
And
Jupiter meet and
it
greet.
sounded very sing-songy
Oh,
to me.
Moon and Jupiter. Anyway, I'm
Anyway,
not even
whatever.
Gonna, so the 3 degree, 3.
Sorry.
Man. What a lash!
I'll go like this.
And
This
of
is
course,
why
3 degrees is 30% of your fist put in front of you, as we learned earlier.
this is why we're taking a break, everybody. We need some mental health downtime. The 3 stars in Orion's belt are about 3 degrees apart. So if you are familiar with Orion's belt, it's about that kind of same distance. So it's relatively close to each other.
Which I did not know until I read the notes earlier.
Yeah. So you can check them out on September 4th. And then of course on September 22nd, 23rd, we have fall begins.
Spooky season.
The autumnal equinox, or if you're in the southern hemisphere, the vernal equinox. So equal day, equal night, and we leave summer and head into fall.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Woo! On September 26th, the Moon and Saturn then hang out. They're chilling together. So they are having their own meet and greet. And they will be 2 degrees apart. So they'll be even.
Well, it's
that's
more
super
of a meet and
close.
greet.
And then the Moon on September 29th is going to decide to Hulk out. And we get a full moon, supermoon.
Okay, got you.
And that's the blue moon as well, isn't it?
No, that was last month. That was August.
That was like yesterday. God.
That was, yeah.
This is August. I'm so confused.
We're
What time
Okay,
zone is
do
this?
we take a drink? No, because he's not zoning out.
No, he's not zoning out. He's just
but it is a-
confused.
it is
He's
a time
confused
zone
at where
moment.
he is and when he is.
It is a time zone moment, though.
All right,
I'm
take
like
a drink
I'm
for
like
a time
everyone's
zone
grandpa
moment.
right now.
Except less like racist.
I hope so.
Oh, Jackson's coming this fall to the WB. The Moon and Jupiter, 2 stellar bodies living together. Yeah,
One's a
it could
tight
be like
ass. One like fucking high.
yeah, they would be
Modern
like an
odd couple.
Yeah, stellar odd couple. almost.
Droopy Droop is always bringing people around, so it's like Charlie Sheen in that one show he was in.
Oh,
2.5 Men?
2.5 Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jupiter has his entourage of Trojans that just like to come by unannounced every now and then. Anyway, astronomy news. Now, we did have a little bit of a breaking news earlier, if you were listening or joining us live, where we found out that bad shit with New Horizons.
But this is good shit.
But we have some good news to share with you. India made it to the moon surface!
Oh, not just anywhere, too. This is exciting.
In the south polar area of the moon, which no spacecraft has landed before.
Not yet. We hit it. That's all we've done.
Yeah,
Though,
we
with
threw
Hit it a
Alpha.
couple
something at-
times.
we threw stuff at it, but
We didn't land there.
we haven't actually landed there yet. So India's Chandrayaan-3 mission. Chandran, thank you.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, there's too many vowels.
See, I thought it was Chandrayaan. But whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I mean,
continue.
we're
Maybe right.
American. I mean, I feel like everybody who's not American is like
Federico
just goes like, yeah, they don't know how to say anything, so or they just
I-
they just like
it's
smile
like-
and nod at
I
it.
keep saying Federico will tell us. I don't say that as a dig. I'm like, please tell us.
Please correct our bullshit. But it launched the moon in July.
That sounds right. I think July.
We did
Late
have
July.
an episode of High in the Sky where Brandon talked about its launch and everything. And so the Vikram lander and the Pragyan rover,
Yeah, with confidence.
the lander landed and the rover has roved.
It has.
It's
There's cool
roved.
Lander, and the rover has roves.
There's really cool video of it actually going out onto the surface
It's like,
and
hello.
leaving
exactly
little
what it is.
little moon tracks, rover tracks on the moon, and
Hopefully
it's
now
pretty
they're
cool.
back to the moon for good.
Oh, that is a planetarium reference, guys.
Very niche as
For
well.
Very
those
niche. Very
that is
niche.
very niche.
Very niche planetarium reference right there. Vikram, by the way, means valorous. And Pragyan, I apologize for my pronunciation, means wisdom. I clearly don't have the wisdom to look up how it's pronounced. It's going to do 14 days of experiments. It's going to test surface plasma density, thermal properties, soil composition, and internal activities of the moon. And it's actually the first country to land on the moon since 2020.
Yeah. And
4 years ago, they had Chandrayaan-2 launch, and it's in orbit around the moon, but its lander and rover, they crashed on the surface, so they threw stuff at it.
And if you have an opportunity, it's like watching any video of the mission control of NASA landing on the moon or Mars or anywhere, just how excited everyone gets.
Yeah.
Watch that with India as well. It just gives you the exact same feelings of happiness.
Yeah, and it's all right. So at the conference, all right, there was a planetarium conference that just happened. It was kind of a small subset of the entire community, but there was a guy who said, "Hey, it is a great day. Chandrayaan, 3 landed on the moon. It's a great day, and hopefully that will get NASA to go to the moon now." And I was like, "You should have just stopped before
Yeah,
NASA."
so you don't need a NASA part.
We don't
You
need
don't
NASA.
need that. But it really is, because the more people we have landing on the moon, the better.
Yeah, and the more countries that are studying the moon, that's still the more we are learning about the
Yeah.
The more
moon.
we learn
It's-
about
it.
our knowledge of the universe
The
isn't
moon-
dependent on NASA.
The moon is not some sort of capitalist entity that we
No.
need to land on and own. It's not some sort of nationalistic thing that we need to land on and own. The moon is for everybody to explore.
The universe is for everybody
And
and everything and every.
we should celebrate the accomplishment, because it's hard. It's
And-
hard
Yeah.
because just the day before, Russia tried to land on the moon and slammed fucking into it.
Yeah.
Whoops, a daisy.
Oh,
That's the next.
sorry.
No, I didn't add
Oh,
that.
no,
That's
take
Brandon,
it. Take it away, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we need to celebrate these accomplishments. We learn from what the Russians did. We learn from any time that we,
Don't pervert the
crash
math
somewhere.
properly.
But yeah, we celebrate these successes.
Mm-hmm.
So to all of the people of India, congratulations. We're so excited for you. This is an amazing thing, and we look forward to what Chandra 3, Vikram, and the rover.
Pragyan.
Yeah, the rover is going to teach us about the moon. So cheers to India.
Cheers to India.
What, ISRA? Is that what it is?
Yes.
ISRO, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it was cool. So just this year, I installed the system in New Delhi. And on their Twitter, they had a huge event out there. News people were out there checking it out as they were watching it live on the dome. So it was super fantastic to see. I'm very happy.
Oh, yeah. When I went to Hyderabad, and just to show them how to use the system, they had opening day. They had the regional governor come in.
Oh my goodness!
To do, she gave a speech. There was just so much press. The place was full of people. There was so much excitement, and the world's greatest tea lady was there as well.
Oh, yes,
Well,
yes,
okay,
he
all
loves
right,
the tea.
so-
All right. Well, but speaking of
talk about the
spacecrafts,
tea.
speaking of spacecrafts, this is my fishing pole.
I got you, because we can talk about India
Thing.
tea all day.
We can.
Apparently, it's very good. Everybody go to
No,
India just for the tea.
It's not very
Speaking
good.
of spacecrafts, the
Okay, what I got was
Chrism,
very
The
good.
greatest thing in the world.
the Chrism telescope, and that's how it's pronounced. It's spelled XRISM, which stands for X-ray Imaging and Spectroscopy Mission, but pronounced Chrism.
I'm really glad you included that, by the way.
Yeah. It is a JAXA, a Japanese Space Agency mission. It's going to launch on August 28th, but that is actually, if you're with us live, at 5:26 Pacific time tonight on JAXA's YouTube channel.
Oh.
So if you're listening to this on Spotify, it's already happened.
Yay.
And here's to the success.
Here's to the success of JAXA.
I'm sure it
Yay!
did it.
It did it. All right, you have to edit that out
If it doesn't do it.
happened.
So it's going to be hanging out in low Earth orbit. Okay, it's not like a JWST going millions of miles away. And it's going to study, it's X-ray, so it's studying high energy light, high energy radiation. Yeah, it's going to study how clusters of galaxies have formed and evolved, how the universe produced and distributed chemical elements, the structure of space-time under gravity's pull,
Ooh.
and how massive black holes affect star formation in host galaxies. So it's doing some heavy-duty science work here.
Well done. Yes, heavy duty. Yes. I got you.
It's going on a 3-year tour.
Oh, you were supposed to sing
Three-year
it.
tour.
There you go.
Just sit right back and hear a tale of a spaceful craft that started on a Terran Earth aboard a tiny continent. all I
Yeah, woo! That was good.
Oh, you
I
should
like that.
Okay,
That was
no,
good.
yeah.
That was good. And that's only because it's using helium to cool its instruments. They need to be super cool, which I'll touch on in a minute.
Trick.
But they only have the helium is only going to last 3 years. So, and then this shit gets too hot and it can't work properly.
Oh, so this is like a true 3-year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not,
This
it's
isn't
not like
a
a
NASA
No,
curiosity.
this
This
isn't
is
like
a
a
true
curiosity or
3-year.
spirit and opportunity that are lasting.
That was launched 10 years ago.
No, it's a 3-year study. It has 2 mirrors. Now these are not your typical mirrors. They're not like a polished glass or metal like you would find on a Hubble or a James
No,
Webb.
I would
or
look good in these
your
mirrors.
typical.
So
They're
fabulous.
like a funhouse mirror. It's a cylindrical made of thin aluminum foils. Nestled kind of inside one each other, and there's 1,624 segments of this. And so they reflect the X-rays that are on a sensor, and that sensor is 18, or sensor, that's how Spock says it, sensor, is 18 feet away from
Okay.
where
Neat.
the feet. So this thing ain't tiny.
That's neat.
In fact, these space telescopes tend to be fairly large. And the mirrors were assembled at NASA's Goddard Space and Flight Center in Maryland. And this is actually a joint mission between JAXA, NASA, and ESA.
With our powers combined.
Yes.
Oh, shit. All right. That's Lord of the Rings reference.
Is
No,
it?
it's not.
No,
Wait a
it's
minute,
like...
what did you say? Towers
like
Captain
combined?
Planet.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh.
I was like, wait a
Wait a
minute.
minute.
This
Oh.
isn't Lord of the Rings.
Okay, what did you say?
Captain
With
Planet.
our powers combined.
And then they hold their rings up.
Our powers. I heard our towers.
Oh, that's not a... no.
With
No.
Sauron and
I was
Sauron.
thinking of Captain Planet the other day. Anyway, I don't know why.
As we all should. Thanks, Ted Turner.
It has 2 main instruments, Resolve, and this is a spectrometer. So this is where the helium comes in. It needs to be kept 50 times colder than deep space.
Oh, okay.
So
How cold is that? That's
I
very
don't
degrees.
know. It's 3 degrees Kelvin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3
So
degrees above absolute zero.
it's fucking cold.
But 50 times colder than that's what? Probably 1.5
Sorry,
degrees.
continue.
What? Okay, don't tell me the Suns won some game. Because
No.
the last time you did
That was like 3 years ago. No, okay, so quick thing, because I've had the whole drink and I don't have any sleep in me. So the Resolve is a ship name, but I didn't know where it was at or what it was famous for. So I Googled it, and the first thing that comes up, I don't know how this relates to it, but it's Tanabata Vehicle Carrier.
Tanabata! Well, I mean, it's a Japanese, so they took their story of Japanese Tanabata.
Yeah, which we went into
we
like
talked
last High in the
about.
Sky, right?
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Oh, that's fun.
That's why I got
Nice.
excited.
Okay.
Tanabata.
So that's cool.
Hey, you were with us in the last one,
Yeah.
right?
Probably.
He was with us when we did Tanabata.
The
'cause
July High in the Sky,
Yeah,
so
or-
in June. Last
yeah.
time we were with us was in June.
It might have been. I don't know. Anyway, so it needs to be that cold to measure minor changes in temperature.
Yeah, no, I get that, yeah.
And so it can measure light that is 100 to thousands of times, hundreds to thousands of times more energetic than visible light.
Okay.
And so, and then it has a secondary instrument called Extend. X just starts with an X. Ability. This allows it to image X-ray sources in a larger field of view than any other X-ray
so
telescope.
It's a large field of view.
Or than anything else so far. So it can observe an area that's 60% larger than the average size of the full moon.
Which is 1 degree, right? Or is it half a degree? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So.
And it'll monitor nearby stars that give off variable X-rays, and it can map properties of X-ray
Nice.
sources in the background while Resolve is working.
Oh, cool.
So that's an exciting. When was the last X-ray telescope that we had? Was it Chandra?
Chandra? Off the top of my head.
Yeah, Chandra.
Yeah, I think
Chandra
that's it.
is retired, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless.
Yeah.
Let me do a quick thing. I'll get back to you in like 20 seconds.
Yeah,
Okay.
also look up Compton, because those are Hubble, Chandra, Kepler, not Kepler, Spitzer, and Compton were the 4 great observatories that we watched.
And they were each
Hubble's still
Hubble's
kicking.
visible.
Compton is gamma rays, Chandra was
and
X-rays,
then the other one's
Spitzer was
infrared.
infrared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Star was launched in 2012. So New Star, that's the first time I've heard of New Star, actually.
I've heard of New Star.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go.
Is it an X-ray telescope?
It is, yes.
Okay, and is
So,
it still active?
Yeah.
I believe so,
Okay.
yes.
All right, cool. So
Look up Chandra though.
But that's exciting because it's gonna be looking at some good shit. I was like, holy shit, space time, the structure of
Yeah,
space time.
it's Chandra's still ongoing.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, okay. Cool. Good.
We don't need to take a drink for Chandra just yet.
No. Okay. Good.
But I will anyway, because hell yeah, Chandra.
Chandra.
What about Compton? Just look it up real quick. All right, go on.
All right. So well, let's go.
Somebody
Let's
Google
stick
Compton.
within our solar system, but go a little bit
little
beyond
closer
the
to home.
Earth, a little closer to home. Good old Neptune.
Hey.
Neppy Neps.
Neppy Neps.
No, doesn't work.
Neppy Nips.
No, I think we reserved that whole thing to
And
Jibby
Jibby
Joops.
That's
And just leave it at that.
And Neptune, the tunes. Call them the tunes.
oh.
The tunes. All right, so Neptune, basically what they're finding out, what astronomers are finding out, is that it seems that the solar cycle, the sun's magnetic cycle, which is an 11-year cycle, where it's basically its magnetic field gets all twisted up around it, and it gets to solar maximum, where it's like really active, a lot of sunspots, a lot of prominences, a lot of CMEs, coronal mass
Which is
ejections.
where we're at now, right?
Yeah, and then the poles will flip and it'll unwind and detangle, and then it reaches solar minimum where it's kind of nothing's happening. It's chill. It's hanging out. All right, it's had some, space weed or something, and it's relaxing. And so what they're finding is, by looking at basically over 30 years of observational data, is that it appears that Neptune's clouds are affected by this solar cycle, and they kind of mirror it, so to speak.
Love that.
And so, and so that means that what they're seeing in the clouds isn't necessarily always a seasonal thing, because all the planets, including the Earth, our clouds, have to do with seasonal changes. Obviously, if it's for us in the winter, we got more clouds. We got in the northern hemisphere, we got more clouds, more rain, more snow, etc. In the summer, more hurricanes and that kind of cloud patterns, that sort of thing, right? These seasonal changes.
But
so
for different reasons.
For different reasons, yes. But we can see storms in Jupiter. So we've seen storms on Neptune. In fact, I'll get to that we've seen storms on Saturn, and we've seen seasonal changes happening within those atmospheres of those gas giants. But essentially what they're observing with Neptune here is that its clouds, it seemed to brighten near solar minimum. I feel like I might have reversed this in the notes. And dim near solar maximum. I might have switched that. But
well, no. So let's think about this for a second. So right now, if we look at Neptune, because I saw these pictures as well, it's very clear of clouds and storms, and we're nearing solar maximum. So that goes to say what your notes are saying. Is that as we approach solar maximum, there is less features on Neptune.
Okay.
Right, but there's also more like particles and stuff that's being shot out and CMEs and stuff that's happening currently. And so since you have that uptick in in activity, I would expect one drink into this that that you would see an increase in activity.
Yeah, no, I haven't. No, I think I have it reversed, because later on I say that basically Ariandi Chavez at the Center for Astrophysics in Harvard and Smithsonian, that they have compelling evidence that Neptune brightens soon after solar max due to an uptick in the number of bright high altitude clouds.
And to be fair as well, the last time we passed by Neptune was in 88?
Yeah,
so that would have been 3
Voyager
cycles, something like that.
Voyager.
So yeah, I guess it tracks.
Yeah, so it's actually it brightens at solar max and it dims solar min. And there's a bit of a 2-year lag that is between the cycles there. And so they've taken all these different images and they've been able to use infrared images that can that's shown upper atmosphere changes. And they've collected hundreds of archival near infrared images going all the way back to 1994. From the Hubble, Keck, and Lick observatories, and they were able to create kind of a detailed sequence of the clouds on Neptune, and then they were able to look at the solar cycle and find this correlation there. Now, of course, correlation does not necessarily mean causation, so this isn't like a set in stone kind of thing that it's 100% caused with the solar cycle, or it mirrors the solar cycle, but there's a lot of evidence that is suggesting that it does, and they're seeing that the sunlight is impacting molecules in the atmosphere. So during solar maximum, the visible light output doesn't dramatically increase a lot, but the ultraviolet output surges by like 40%.
Yeah.
Throughout this cycle. And so what happens is that breaks up methane molecules in Neptune's atmosphere, forming these hydrocarbons that then kind of seed clouds. They're like the seeds of clouds. But since Neptune's seasons, they do last 40 years, there's a lot of factors then to consider in the terms of, is this correlated with the sun cycle, or, are these seasonal changes because that season is so long, and our length of time observing Neptune, again, is really only one cycle, or,
right.
We don't have that breadth of observational data.
Less than one Neptunian year, significantly less.
Yeah.
But this is intriguing, though, and it does actually point in a direction of thought, of hypothesis, and so, it's cool. Cool.
Also news along with that is that that Neptune has even more in store for us, where a dark spot on Neptune has been detected from Earth for the very first time. Now, Neptune is previously known for having a dark spot, which was seen by Voyager 2. And then Hubble has seen it, or there was the Multi-Unit Spectroscopy Explorer, or MUSE.
They're great concerts, I hear.
Yes, I thought of the band Muse as well. Okay, so let me start over because I kind of messed this up a little bit. So it's the first one spotted from Earth. So our space telescopes have spotted, or our satellite, or our spacecraft Voyager 2 had spotted the dark spot, and it had dissipated a few years after Voyager 2 had
it's
flown
really
by.
cool images of it.
Yeah, so there's really neat images known as the Great Dark Spot because it looked like a big fucking dark spot.
Well, but they're also comparing it to the Great Red Spot, so...
Yeah, and Jupiter's Great Red Spot, that's known to be this hurricane-like storm in its atmosphere, whereas the dark spot is a little bit more mysterious as to what it was. Is it a storm? Is it kind of like a gap in the atmosphere, like a hole in the atmosphere, something like that? So ESO's Very Large Telescope Array, or VLT. It spotted the large dark spot with a brighter small spot next to it, which has never been something that's seen before.
Okay.
And so using their MUSE, their multi-unit spectroscopic explorer, they could use multiple wavelengths, or they could view multiple wavelengths that were basically different depths in Neptune's atmosphere. So they could see below that like kind of surface, I say in air quotes, haze, that we can just see by looking at pictures or looking at Neptune through a telescope or that kind of thing. And so that gives them more detail into Neptune than they've ever seen before. And so what they're seeing is that instead of this being like a hole in its atmosphere, it's likely a result of particles that are darkening in a lower layer below the visible haze layer as these ices and hazes in Jupiter's atmospheres mix together. And then the bright spot is like a rare type of cloud that has never been observed before on Neptune, and it's at the same level as the dark spot in its atmosphere. So they're hanging out together. Basically, everybody's hanging out together in the solar system. And so this is a new type of feature that they don't really know much about and still need to learn and figure out. So Neptune still holds lots of mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There it is.
So
we've never had a show just on Neptune.
We haven't.
Hey, well, season 5.
That's my favorite planet.
Season 5. Is it really?
It is.
All right.
Well, I tell you what, add it to the list. You know the list I'm talking about. So
yeah.
And I have a quick bit. News. Quick bit. Brief. Quick bit. That recently the ESA's Mars Express orbiter, hanging out with Mars, taking pictures of Mars' surface, doing a lot of science that way. It has discovered, researchers have seen what they believe is evidence of a landslide from Olympus Mons on Mars, which is the largest volcano in the fucking solar system. And so there's this crumpled feature, which is called Lycus Sulci, on the edge of the base of Olympus Mons. That was basically 100 million years ago. Olympus Mons is erupting and fucking shooting lava out as the lava's flowing, and large amounts of lava triggered landslides that became like crumpled and pulled apart, creating these sort of wrinkly features. So
this is not like a recent
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is like evidence of landslides caused from the eruption of Olympus Mons hundreds of millions of years ago.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
But it's just kind of a neat little thing that's just been kind of seen on Mars, and they've basically been able to figure out what they think it is.
What's crazy is we have a lot of imagery of Olympus Mons, and to really kind of start understanding this now is great. But I guess Brandon thought this too. Was it like in a recent landslide?
No. Based off how it was.
But and reason why we thought that is because the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter (MRO) has actually found evidence of recent landslides and craters and related to water and stuff like that. And so it's really cool anytime.
Yeah, no, this is just new evidence of old shit that happened. But if you think about it, how many people do you have that are researching this or looking at the, it's not a lot of people that you have. That's why it takes
Yeah.
so long to learn
It's
things.
at least 6.
To learn things about all the planets or to learn things about space is because you have, especially these professional research astronomers, they have their niches. They have their things that they're specifically researching, whereas the universe is filled with, an innumerable things to research and study.
Right. And, I've said this before, but to me, one of the coolest things to think about is that for just a brief moment.
Yes.
That person is the only person in the entire universe that knows whatever it is they know. Mm-hmm. And I just think it's the coolest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For a moment, Einstein was like, yeah, I know something that nobody else knows, at least on Earth. There might be some alien somewhere. But or Feynman. Or Newton. And Newton fucking sat on gravity for years.
Everyone sits on gravity, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But his understanding of gravity, he sat on that for years. It was only when he found out that somebody else was going to release something similar.
Someone else was thinking about gravity, too.
Yeah, that he released what he knew. But it's just an amazing thing. But I just love the whole idea of landslides on Mars, whether it's in the past or recent, because it just shows that Mars is a dynamic place. Mm-hmm. We tend to think of these places as static and unchanging. Mm-hmm. That is because the way that we see the universe.
Beautiful desolation. Magnificent desolation.
Desolation.
But the moon is not static. Like impacts happen on it. Mars has landslides and impacts happen on it.
And earthquakes.
Jupiter has, all these storms in its atmosphere. Neptune.
I got a question for the hangover.
But even Venus was volcanically active, if not now, not too long ago. All of these worlds are changing. Mercury is shrinking. As it releases heat.
When you get old, I heard you shrink a little bit.
And Earth has an infestation.
Oh, yeah. A deadly one.
Parasitic.
Well, it'll get over it eventually. I'm not concerned about Earth in general.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
No matter what Jesus
says.
It's
got a good immune system.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, everyone, on this episode of High in the Sky. We went higher and skyerest than we've ever gone before in this. I don't know. That explains. If you just hear this one bit of the show, that explains how the show went. We will return on September 24th. I can finish the sentence. Thank you very much. On September 24th.
Okay. Sorry. It's just that, for the past few times, we don't know the date. It's September. Was it September 24th?
I know you're excited because this is the one time we actually know the day. I know. I get your excitement.
All right.
I get your excitement. But every time I've gone to say it, you've always say it first.
September 24th is our next.
September 24th, everybody.
September 26th.
September 24th, everybody. We'll be back with a High in the Sky for October, and we'll see what's been going on in astronomy news throughout September. Will we discover another universe or something? New physics? Will that happen? We don't know. It could happen.
It could, but it won't.
But it could.
But it could. And if it does, we'll be back.
I should say the chances are very slim.
We'll be back. Well, anything can happen according to quantum. So we will be back to talk about it. But for now, follow us on all the things at Drinking Cosmos on Twitter. Cosmos with Cosmos everywhere else. We will have shots coming out for you in our absence, so you can watch those.
Recording one later today.
Yeah, but we'll see you anyway. We'll see you next time on September 24th.
Cheers.
See you soon.
Bye.
And if you're with us live right now, stick around. We'll take a brief break, and then we'll be back with The Hangover. So, hang tight. Peace.
Hey.
everybody.
To the Hangover
people.
with Cosmos and Cosmos. We're back after a wild high in the sky for September.
It was pretty wild.
And
It
it
was
was
fun.
wild
2023.
intermission.
It was a wild, yeah. Brandon got some news during intermission
now
about the
just thrown back
Planetarium
into the
world that
fray.
is upsetting him. Why'd you do that? Why didn't you wait until like before the shot or something? Anyway.
Because I'll forget about it otherwise. I mean, I won't, but I will.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Before we get to what Brandon wrote down to talk about for the Hangover, I have my question that I actually remember from the main
'cause
show,
this is relevant.
which is a
Mine's
rare. Is it? Okay. No. All right.
What's your question?
It is what we may have asked this before.
I ask.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh wait, do we do the rule? We do the rules.
I'm here once a month. I'll make my references when I can get them in.
I don't know if we do the rules during Hangover, but whenever we're doing it.
Oh, no, we do, yeah.
Okay. What kind of?
Do you have favorites? Sorry.
Thank you. I'm glad you got the reference though. What kind of cheese would the moon be made of?
Oh, dear God. Really?
We've asked this so many times.
Have we? Have we? Fuck. Damn
While
it.
we've been drunk together, I'm sure we've had this conversation multiple times. The popular answer is, of course, Swiss cheese because of all the holes in it.
Gross. I hate Swiss cheese. I want to be able to eat the moon.
Moonster? Because of the color?
Or because
Damn.
But Moonster.
Oh, I didn't think of
Didn't
that.
think about
Moonster. That wins. That's it. That's it for
All
me,
right,
folks.
All right, next question. Mike,
That's
what's
it
your
for me.
question?
Oh, jeez. I don't have a question.
Well, you should have come prepared.
I should have come prepared, but I've been looking
Quick.
forward to your question and to whatever Brandon was
All
going to
right.
bring.
Well, quick. Think of something.
I don't know.
Be creative.
Be creative?
You're a creative person. You can do this.
Yeah, you're a
We're
creative.
going to put pressure on you. And in the meantime, I'm going to sing the lyrics I remember to Eve 6.
Wait. I might be thinking of a different song. Which is the one that's like, oh no, is that Buck Cherry? Oh.
I don't know. Brandon.
She said nothing but faith and nothing harder than
You know, I actually... Okay,
Beautiful oblivion.
rendezvous. And I'm through.
And I'm
with
through with you.
It's not... I can't say it's like one of my least favorite songs, but when it comes up on Spotify, I'm not exactly happy.
All right.
So
On a
but,
random
when you
alternative
When you hear
90s
it, you're really
playlist.
choking on the rinds.
All right.
Smoked
So
Moonster,
to
Blue
me, Eve 6
Moonster.
is a wonderful follow on Twitter. Like they're amazing, actually.
I
to
would
follow
have
on
never
Twitter.
even thought to follow Eve 6 on Twitter.
No, that's the random thing. Like they're relevant and make fun of people, and it's great.
All right.
suggest.
Well,
Strong
I have
suggest.
to follow Eve 6 now. That'll ruin my whole metal cred. Anyway,
Mike?
did you think of your question? We
No,
stalled for
because I
long
was
enough.
doing Eve 6. What's your favorite Eve 6 album? No, I mean, they're a one-hit wonder, which is one hit more than
They
what I
have 2 or
have.
3
And
hits.
so,
Yeah, I never
it's-
had an Eve 6 CD.
No, neither have I.
I had now 5.
No.
All right, so...
Oh, wait. Federico says moon cheese debate. I would just like, it is not casu marzu, meaning rotten cheese, made with I'm assuming you said meat, you meant meat, and live worms? That's a cheese? I mean, I guess Italy's not known for its cheeses, I guess.
No, I love cheeses, but I can't do that.
Cheese grommet.
Live worms?
I
mean, it's bad enough that cheese is already like just like bad milk, but rotten milk, but it's so good.
All right, so we talked about India and the moon.
We did.
We did. So
Check out the main episode, High in the Sky, for September 2023, now out on Spotify or on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, so India is only the 4th country to land on the moon.
Sure.
United
Right,
States,
so the
Soviet
US?
Union,
Okay.
China, India.
Yeah, and so only the 4th. Who would
Technically
you
not.
like to see to land next?
Besides the United States?
Yeah.
Or
Or who has the... I mean, obviously the European Space Agency probably has the best. Do they have any moon missions that are slated?
ESA. So ESA was originally supposed to partner with Roscosmos, Russia, to land on the moon, but then Russia decided to be assholes a couple years ago, and that's no longer happening.
When is that new? You know what? I'm gonna say New Zealand.
I would love to see
okay.
New Zealand do it.
I am okay. So let's think about this for a second now. I kind of want to say UAE only because they're doing a lot of purchasing within space as well. So I think they maybe tried to purchase themselves a rover or create one and then buy a ride to the moon.
Well, they
is fine.
They did just go to Mars.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I don't know all the countries that have space agencies or the capabilities.
All right, so we got United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica. Sorry. So we have Canada has theirs, United States. Actually, most countries technically have a space agency in one form or another, whether it's just launching satellites off other rockets, for example, or trying to build their own rockets. Most have their own space agencies.
Okay, so here's a question. When you said most countries, it just popped in my head. All right, so we cheered India. Would we cheer North Korea with the same excitement?
We are Team Space. I may not agree with the policies at domestic level, but if they can
any of the policies
and they share with
on
it,
the domestic level.
But realistically, are they doing that to further our knowledge?
No,
space?
they're gonna land there and shoot space lasers at the US.
They would put the rover in front of a green screen, but forget to put the moon on the green screen, so it would just be the rover in front of the green screen.
That would be.
No, but I thought the same thing about Roscosmos.
But they would have Kim Jong-un and that little girl of his, whatever her name is, that they would be like right there with the rover.
I would say we celebrate it as an accomplishment as a people. For the people. Because, the people that are, if this were to happen, it is the people of North Korea that were forced to build it and
starve for it.
And so it's really their accomplishment. They did it regardless of the conditions
and
or whatever the motives
on the bright
are.
side, I not that they need any more acknowledgement really, but I can almost guarantee that if North Korea did something like that, then it would only bring them more into the news cycle again about the domestic policies and the hardships currently going on in that land. So
right, but everybody already knows that.
Everyone already knows that, and we're not doing.
But they don't want to talk
about that.
This was weird. We went to North Korea. This was an interesting journey on Hangover already.
It was how excited we are for India.
Yeah. Would we be as excited for those we dislike?
It's like if Luna 25 from Russia landed on the moon in the South Pole. Would we be as excited?
Well, it's not Putin doing it.
I think it is. We celebrate that they did it.
Russian astronauts and these are just human beings that cosmonaut.
Right. Oh, God.
I'm an American. Everything's America-centric. I'm going to talk about everything in American terms.
I will say the difference between an India and a Russia as far as space exploration is the pure excitement of the people. Because
Russians aren't allowed to celebrate.
Russians are not allowed to celebrate if vodka's not involved. Sorry, that's probably racist somehow.
Is it?
Is it? I mean, they're whiter.
I don't know if it's necessarily racist. A stereotype. It's more of a stereotype.
It's more of a stereotype.
There's a palpable excitement.
How else do they stay warm? It's cold.
That is true.
It's cold up there. That's why they got the vodka.
Yeah. So when I was just in New Delhi earlier this year, they had I'm not sure if it's mock images, but spare rockets next to the planetarium. And
Just
so people it's exciting over there. I watched the YouTube videos of the landing, the people going to the planetarium to watch the landing. It's just exciting.
I mean, they had this first spacecraft in space, the first woman in space.
Soviet Union?
Woman.
Soviet Union?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought we were talking India.
Who's now wrapped up in some weird...
I thought we were talking Russia. I thought we were talking about Russia.
Not retail.
He moved to India.
Did he
real
move
estate
to India?
Things. Yeah, I went to India.
Oh, I don't know when you went to India. I'm still thinking about how blue cheese is pureed Smurf cheese, according to what Jack says in the chat. And I love pureed Smurfs now.
Well, that's a new thing.
Because I love blue cheese.
Breaking the wall.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from
Anyway, I'm still gonna take.
What was your
India? Well, fucking done.
Yeah, good job, India. Congrats.
Cheers.
Yeah, so my thing. So this is not at all self-serving, nor am I going to use this to further my position in life later on this week. But hypothetically, let's say anybody in the chat, anybody that we're talking with right now in our screen in front of us, had access to a 65-foot planetarium, right? And the seats are completely removable. Like, you can just move those seats out. It's a flat dome. What events would you have inside of that planetarium?
I didn't know
What
the seats
cool
could do
stuff could he do that's not just,
weddings,
Star Talk or weddings?
No,
which was
concert.
Concerts, absolutely.
plays.
Yeah, I play War of the Worlds.
Oh, that would be so cool.
No, but seriously, a play. That was the one thing.
A flat dome's hard though.
Oh, easier, because you have, okay, so with a tilted dome, you have levels, of course, but with a flat dome, you can take all the seats away, and so you have this empty area inside of it.
I'm just thinking where, depending on how tall it is and where the projectors are.
Your head's
is
not in the
flat.
way. Don't worry.
Oh,
Your head's
Auckland
not
is
in the
flat?
way.
How big is Auckland?
What?
How big of a dome is Auckland? Do we know?
I think it's
Does anybody know?
little smaller than what we had in Phoenix.
But a
So
metric system.
55 foot.
But what's
but-
that in metric? Because it's New Zealand.
Well, ours was 19 meters in Arizona,
good.
so we'll say 18 meters
All right.
for New Zealand. But you weren't expecting me to know that answer, were you? So
How dare you know math?
Better said he's check blending and alignment.
Yeah.
Wow.
no,
Yes,
I would
yes.
say like a play. It was the one thing that I always wanted to do.
Yeah, in fact, I was looking into doing, I was trying to plot out how we could do one of Edgar Allan Poe's stories.
Yeah.
Turns out the answer was nevermore.
It was the Masquerade one. What was the what's
Oh.
the Masquerade one called?
Oh, was it Count of
No, it was like I don't know. I gotta look up.
because the
I gotta
count,
look up
count
how-
of whatever it is actually has a masquerade as well.
Oh.
That's
I can't-
Alexander Dumas.
Oh,
Oh, not the count of Monte Cristo. There was I get you, but there was a story that Edgar Allan
okay,
Poe
maybe
did
it is that one. Then.
that where this guy he felt slighted by this other guy, and they went to this masquerade.
Mm-hmm.
The cask of Amontillado.
That's what it is. The
Yeah,
cask
and
of
so he
whatever.
got him
yeah.
drunk.
That's what it was.
And then lured him into this thing and just walled him up.
Yeah. I was
And-
trying to. I was thinking. I was in the
He
process
really
of
likes walling his victims up.
Yeah, and
Telltale
the last thing that he hears before he walls him in, his victim, is the victim starts to laugh and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And it was
I think that's the one it was, and I was trying to. We were gonna
Yeah.
plan on trying to do it for the
Oh,
dome. And I was,
that's
I was just
so
starting
cool.
outlining visuals on how it could be done or how we could have actors in and stuff like that.
right. And so
And it was harder because we had a tilted dome with stadium type
seating,
seating.
yeah.
So it was definitely going to be but it was going to be like a whole interactive. Well, not
Yeah.
interactive, but
I think that same story is told on Netflix, narrated by Christopher fucking Lee. This came out, obviously before he died, but I think it's one of the short stories. So check that out.
Okay. But I think a play, but just because we did art, I had actually talked to a couple musicians and talking about getting music in the dome, and that actually fell through. We actually had agreements, but it fell through. But the play was always the hardest
Right.
because, the powers that be, they start to think, okay, what are the political messages, what, that type of thing, and so it didn't work out. But we had talked with some people. There's like a playhouse in Phoenix. It's like the main one, and we had talked to them about it, but it just never worked out. But I always wanted that because I really and truly always wanted that play to where the dome was a character and essential to the progression of the plot, so that the dome actually becomes part of the plot point somewhere. But it just never worked out, and I was always disappointed by that. So
Jack says he did Reader's Theater behind the dome in the superstructure. It was fun, but it was hard to get the visuals timed right. And the readers had personal lights for their face.
Well, that's cool.
That's cool.
That's like very Greek. The Greek
Oh,
theater when they
yeah.
had not the muses, but the what do we call it? Yeah.
Yeah, their drama
I
masks,
like that.
basically. And
you are writing all this down.
then
right?
actually, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds
I
me
have
of
a list of things.
It reminds
that
me
I've
of
already
in
thought of.
Snow White, in the Wicked Witch, in the mirror, and her face.
Oh, yeah.
Being in the mirror, or the fate, not her face in the mirror, but the mirror's face, because it was a mirror on the wall.
Right.
Situation, but
So
yeah.
I'll read you a couple of my thoughts that I've written down over the course of a plane ride, and maybe that'll jog some thoughts as well. So of course, number one is theater, right up there.
Hey.
Dome as a character, because I remember Mike talking about that a while ago, which was a really cool idea. Same thing as theater, but also combining a dinner. Murder mystery would be really cool inside a
Oh,
dome.
that's fun. That's fun. Yeah.
Murder in the dome.
Oh, and then include stuff behind the dome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and lighting.
I see. I was gonna say I see a stereotypical lightning effect happening with
With-
like with
Yeah,
some
laser,
silhouette
like,
of something.
So if you throw the
Like a haunted
the
mansion.
fog in there, you can have like
Yeah.
a ghost effect. too.
Yeah, exactly.
But also like haunted mansion where the walls go up and then there's like they flashlight and it's
yes,
the
yes.
person
Information.
hanging
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
what I'm saying behind
Yeah.
the dome. Yeah.
Oh, God,
It could
that'd
be
be
that
great.
or anything, a
Yeah.
silhouette of someone with a knife or
So there's always yoga in the dome as well.
yes, that's
That was shown at
that's a
well,
Yep.
no, it wasn't. The
well,
meditation
it was
shown
a
at Doug.
meditation feature shown at Doug.
Yeah, and that's kind of a common thing, which is fantastic.
Yeah, but that's good. That's a fun thing to.
Wine and charcuterie underneath the stars.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Beer, cider tastes.
Mm-hmm.
Video game tournaments.
I was gonna say video game night, like
Yeah.
either it's like a custom game made for the dome, or just playing video games on
Yeah,
the
because
dome.
one of the. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say Unreal. The Unreal Engine
At Doug,
can go
yeah.
into like at least the planetariums we're associated with, and so or will be able to, and so yeah, you can bring in those type of game. It doesn't even have to be a tournament. Just come play this. It's 15 minutes. You come and you play this environment. And
But also, if you have a flat dome, and you could set up where, your seats are in the round, and then depending on, I don't know the resources or the computers needed for this, but you could have like, a certain amount of people that are playing actually around
that'd be
the
great.
dome in a different
That'd be
section,
phenomenal.
so they're playing at the
Yeah.
same time. Either they're multi-playing together or they're playing their own kind of thing.
And and this hypothetical situation which you're talking about, there are seats, of course, but then all the seats are removable.
That's a cool feature.
So it's
then
possible
you
to
could
have
put bean bags down there, and
Yes.
like mats
It's
where
really
you can
cool.
recline, and you could give a night sky show where people are actually laying down as
Laying
if
down,
they're
a little
looking
yoga
at,
mat.
I think
and you could introduce
Science
some
Center of Iowa
4D
does that.
elements to it. You could put like some bushes around, like potted plants around the side, and then you could put in like
yeah.
a
Wait,
like
let me
a like
write
a
some things
pine
down
like
here.
a pine tree air freshener
yeah.
or something to
So
get the
physical-
smells of the
Yeah, like
forest.
a fake
And
campfire.
Yeah, and maybe a fake campfire, or maybe like a little heater that has like the heat radiating like a campfire, or maybe like a fan with like wind blowing or something, or
This is really cool.
In this increasingly hypothetical situation.
yeah.
Of course.
As I channel my Mark Twain from this the Star Trek episode, you should reach out to Science Center of Iowa because they have removable seats where they actually do, I think, put bean bags out and stuff like that.
I mean, why wouldn't you? That would be.
So does another planetarium in Illinois.
Oh, nice.
A lot of them there.
There's a couple.
Now,
Kemper
you know
Bank.
what? I mean, I always love a good tilt on a dome, but now
I
Oh,
do
no,
love
no,
a good
I'm
tilt.
feeling
for
this.
shows, day-to-day shows, tilt. But
Yeah.
for the opportunity of
this?
bringing in other things, the
a
flats.
dome that you can change the tilt.
Hey, you know what? To be honest,
It's not money.
our projection dome at work, you can change it.
That's true. They can go back and forth. Not that I want to, because
I mean,
we have those.
St.
That's
Louis,
what-
St. Louis doesn't have fixed chairs either,
Oh,
They have a
shit,
huge.
they
They have a
don't.
huge dome, don't they?
They have a huge
Like an
dome and it's
80-foot
flat.
dome or something.
It's flat too.
Um,
If I remember right.
I don't know. I think
wait
I
a
would
minute.
think having the
I think
ability
right.
to adjust the tilt of your dome is actually cooler than say like I don't
Well,
know,
okay,
like
so
LED dome.
But I will say, because Federico is listening to this and he's kind of freaking out, I'm sure. The ability to move the tilt of your dome involves a huge, incredible amount of work. Not just by moving the dome, but moving the projectors and the geometry and the alignment and the blending.
Maybe everything's on its own. It's on the same
Right,
rig, and then it all tilts together. Then you
the
don't have to
engineering
realign.
involved is insane for that.
Okay, well,
I like
there's
the idea.
Smart people that can make that shit.
I don't know. That's a lot of money. It's a
lot
huge
of
lot. At that point,
seems like a vanity thing.
Seems like a lot of welding.
don't you fucking dare, Mike.
It just seems like a lot of welding. It seems like a lot of welding.
So in any case, I left with a video game tournament.
Or you have just a separate set of projectors that are for like a tilt.
Oh, sure.
Maybe it's only a
Why
certain
not
tilt.
just
no,
buy
you
new
go
sets
to.
of
the
projectors and
projectors
lenses?
are actually attached to the dome. So as the dome tilts,
Yeah.
it
Well,
goes.
if you can do
Is
it
that
as a
what you
test
said?
dome, then you can do it as a normal dome.
That's super scary.
Anyway.
No. This is a good conversation to have. The other ones I have is a local film festival, an annual local film festival. I doubt it
Movable
would
LED
be full
dome.
dome.
A movable LED dome. There you go.
Yeah, well,
Make that $10 million.
I know, right? I mean, it's the millions of dollars. Just get the dome
Earlier Federico said
Goddamn
he would
right.
work with 3D scanners and play visuals related to the behavior of the audience, which is interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool. So it's like depending. So it's like each show, if it's like a play or whatever you're going to,
Extraordinarily unique, yeah.
it's unique based on how everybody's reacting. And maybe something changes, or like the killer changes if it's like a murder mystery show or something, or based on how people are behaving. So you can't just go again and know exactly who the killer is or know what's going to happen.
Local film festival, even if it's just 4:3 ratio, for example, that's still a cool space to have it in.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, finding potential sister sites, which I have a list of potentially for this hypothetical situation, of course.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
At that, I'm going to close my book. This was a fun conversation. Thank you, people in the chat. I'll let you know how this goes.
But you'll see how it goes in a hypothetical kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
And next season, you'll know how it goes. By the next season, you will know how it went.
Stick around. Come back for season 5 of Cosmos with Cosmos.
Season 5?
Yeah.
Yeah,
when,
season 5.
we find out what this shit was all about.
Did we? Okay, so we didn't start in 2020. Did we start in 2019? When did we start? What year?
Well, it was 4 years ago because it's season 4.
Well, no, not necessarily. We made up like a season. We made
we
up
did
our
that.
own seasons where we kind of took a break and then we started.
Because we were
the
just
season.
like shooting the shit and figuring out what to do.
So I mean,
Obviously.
okay, so we moved to Utah in 2017.
21, 22, 20. I would say we started in 2020.
No, we started earlier than
2019.
2020.
I don't think it was
fucking
2020.
know.
It was either
This
2019 or
wasn't
2018.
this wasn't a COVID show. Like we did this.
Yeah.
Because I remember I made ill-timed jokes about COVID. So this was 2019.
So yeah. Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Choose Your Own Adventure is copyrighted?
It's copyrighted and militantly protected. Oh, by the Choose Your Own Adventure person.
Are these the same people that have Treehouse Adventures?
What can you call it? Can you call it Design Your Own?
Wait a minute. Who
path.
owns the copyright?
Disney? I assume it's Disney.
That or Google.
Create your own experience. Create a unique experience.
Choose your own. God damn it.
Decide what happens.
I
There you
hate
go. Decide what happens.
Oh, we gotta think. We gotta think of a new thing for that. We gotta think of a new thing. We gotta think of a new title about showing local art in the dome.
Choose how the universe ends. It's art reimagined. That's what the title is.
Oh, but okay, we need to copyright that. Anyway, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well,
Damn it.
Oh, the publisher owns it, and they got a cease and desist. I'm surprised they even knew, like...
Well, you know what? I'm going to do it the first time, and I'm going to make them extend... Sorry, I'm going to take everything back I just said and take another drink.
Luckily, I didn't understand what you were saying. Brandon has the fanciest glass of all of us. I got a beer can. You got mason jars, and Brandon has a martini glass or a daiquiri glass.
No, wait a minute. Let me see the glass.
Or a daiquiri glass, or a
that's
rounded.
It's not a martini glass.
It's not quite a martini, because martini glasses, they have a propensity to
angled.
Spill. These are more rounded at the bottom. I do not know what they're called.
Daiquiri glasses? Because daiquiris are usually in the round.
I'm going to go with yes.
Well, daiquiris had a little shape to
Martinis are usually the triangle.
But I will say, having the ability to ask Planetarium people this question will be immensely helpful come this week.
Join us for Season 5 of Cosmos of Cosmos when you find out if this was helpful this week for Brandon.
But you know what? Hey, what day did we decide? December 3rd? That's our 100th episode.
December 3rd, everybody, is our 100th episode. Join us on December 3rd when we don't know what will happen yet, but there will be something special.
It's going to be fucking
Maybe we'll get cake.
You know what? In all honesty, if you have ideas that you want for it, let us know.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we'll do it, but...
The package arrived!
Yay! I was wondering, Jack, if you got your gift. I'm glad you got it. Did you open it? Or do you like it? Is it okay?
Oh, did you open it? Please tell me you opened it.
We went on an adventure around Eugene because the dogs and Winter were at a vet appointment, one of their yearly
right,
checkups.
So we went to Eugene Science Center.
We had time to kill, so we went to Eugene Science Center. We saw something that was perfect. We thought was suited Jack just nicely.
We also went to their planetarium.
We did see their planetarium.
Because
it was actually 10,000 Skittles.
It was what?
10,000 Skittles.
10,000 Skittles. It was actually, what was it? It was how big was the dome?
What was it?
It's cool, and he's composing an Instagram post for it.
Oh,
thanks, Jack. It was
it's
a bag, and it says Great Beards of Science. And it has all the great beards of science.
Yeah, we really enjoyed the planetarium. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it was fun.
I
went there previously.
The lady, she gave us behind the scenes, and so
yeah, that's only because we're like, hey, we worked in planetarium. Let me see what shit you're working with.
But it wasn't just her. It started with the people at the front desk,
and
we told them. And they were all excited and all that kind of stuff.
It's a very small science center, but it's worth going to. It's fun. It's cute.
And to be honest, Liz went in full planetarium mode. She really did. Not giving a show, but there was a kid with his grandmother there.
Oh no, I did.
she was like, I don't know, asked the kid something, and it was great. It was great.
So you have to do it.
Well, they had
great.
as walk-in, and they had cove lights up, but then they had some constellations and stuff up. So then I was asking. I tried to ask him.
The kid was so excited.
There's I think there was Leo was up, and so I asked him something about a constellation, and I was like, and this up there, you see that hook? That's Leo.
Yeah, it was Leo. But the kid was so excited, and Liz just jumped right into it. It was great.
Talking to strangers when you get me in a dome. I can talk to strangers. When I'm in a dome, I can talk to strangers.
When you get a question, there's something that flicks inside of you, and you go suddenly, okay, I need to explain this in a very friendly manner, and it's just exciting, and I love it.
Oh, but what also was great was the presenter came in, and when she was doing the introduction, she did it in sign language as well.
She did do it in sign language.
Oh, that's super cool. Not that I'm about to write things down, but that's super cool.
Yeah, that was a neat little...
I mean, she didn't do every word or every phrase in sign language, but she did do
basic,
a bit.
Rules of the planetarium.
That's really cool.
So I was like,
it was good.
And I'm sure she knew she probably didn't even need to do it because...
No, but you never know. You never know. You don't know who's sitting
So
in
it must be a policy
and then even if you're somebody who does not speak ASL whatsoever, you see somebody giving that, you think, oh, this makes an impression on me already.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she's doing it.
Having said that, though, there was no question of, do you need captions?
Oh.
Well, that's the whole thing.
But anyway,
it's about capabilities.
It was fun. It was a good experience. We just
not
saw a playback show.
Individual capabilities.
Right. But my point is that you come in and you do sign language, but then there's no captions or anything for me to actually for the rest of the show.
Yeah. I'm sure maybe if there was somebody that was deaf or hard of hearing that
Oh,
there would have been
yeah,
like
But even creating live captions is very difficult.
Yeah.
Right,
or they would have
but-
had a caption file or something. There was only Mike and I, and then like a grandma and her
Grandson.
This is four
Yeah.
of us in there.
Those are the good shows, though. Those are
And
the best.
he was
work.
excited through the whole thing. He would talk through the whole thing, and he was just kind of like, "What?"
Yeah.
and like stuff. And I was just like laughing.
That
But
makes me
what's
happy.
really cool is that when they get to the credits, Liz and I are like, we know them. We know
Oh
them.
yeah, there
we
was,
know
it was
them.
a bunch of people that we know in the Planetarium
that's-
field that had
we know them.
been involved in the making of it. I was like, oh.
It was great. It was
Yeah.
great. Oh, Amy's part of this. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So yeah,
Federico
thank you
Federico
for
says-
humoring me.
Federico says live captions. Yes, struggling with them.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think any live captions are perfect because just
Well,
no.
They don't need to be perfect, but yeah, especially in a dome setting, it's very difficult to get right because there's so many different programs you have to go through. It's tough.
Right, but that's in a live show. This was a pre-recorded
yeah.
show.
Yeah, this was a pre-recorded
That's
show.
much easier.
Then you can just play a caption file.
So, but yeah, I mean, I read my TV shows. I read my movies.
Although you often don't have your glasses on to be able to read them.
No, because
Every
I
night's
have.
Or your
I either
contacts
have.
in,
Are you
because-
talking hearing aids?
No, because sometimes you're like, "What was that?" And I'm like, "Did you not read it? Because it's readable."
there.
What?
Yeah.
No,
And then I repeat it for you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you could read it right there, but you can't see it.
no. All
I
right.
agree, Liz.
Okay. Jeez, I feel attacked. All right. Well, I
Besides-
try to use captions.
I like captions because there's a lot of like
No,
low
you
levels
cannot.
that I can't
You
hear.
cannot talk now about that. So,
Only because you can't hear her.
You're not
you
the
don't
only
wear
one
your
who
glasses.
listened to their music loud.
oh, I listen to music loud.
All that double bass loud for years in my ears.
Yeah, no, I do enjoy pulling into the neighborhood with music loud.
Me too. Me too. With the windows down a little bit, so
Yeah.
people could
No,
be like, "Oh."
no, I have my windows down. I don't even a
Yeah.
little bit. It's
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the air quality or like but
That's fair. That's fair.
And there's this one guy who likes to wave flags down the end of a road that I have to pass. I do enjoy passing them and with punk music going full blast, especially if it's like a political song, like fuck the police is what's being said as we drive past them.
Jack says he still has to specifically ask for caption files from producers when
Yeah.
they should be automatic. They should be automatic.
They honestly should be.
And they should, I think, legally.
I am going to take off my hat.
Oh, good day, sir.
Good day,
Good
sir.
day.
This is
Good
the
day.
dog the dog pound, the dog what Ted Lasso, they call it dogs in.
Oh, the
What's
dog
it called?
pound. The dog
Dog
pound.
pound.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dog
no,
pound.
I completely agree with you, Jack.
I think-
That when you get a show, there should be an SRT file, which is
100%.
the standard industry, the standard file for captions that you get, and because, like you said, legally, I think it has to be
Yeah,
provided.
that ADA accessibility.
Nobody should be coming to me asking for a captions file. That they should be distributed with. Really?
I
They should be
can't help
distributed with the shows
Yeah.
captions because really and truly there's a significant part of the population that's hard of hearing or deaf.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, see, but in
No, but-
this
No, I
context,
agree.
it's
No,
not
I agree,
even
but I-
funny.
there's
And
stuff-
Emphasizing the point.
Well,
yeah.
and it's like I've heard like Oppenheimer is like a lot of it's hard to hear because he chooses not
And
to
it was,
record
honestly.
actors, and there's a lot of low level stuff, and I have trouble with low level.
right.
Hearing low level, so I do like having captions but then sometimes I focus too much on reading the captions that I forget to look at what's happening.
But yeah,
Yes,
no.
yeah.
But that's the thing, though, is that you do have to go from caption to action, and for TV, it's easier.
Yeah,
because
because
it's right there. But for a dome, it is caption. Action could be anywhere. Hopefully,
Right.
action is kind of in front of
Right.
you and up.
Right.
But
Yeah.
because when I think it was 2000, the year 2000, so
It's
23
year
years ago.
2000.
Yeah. No. I'm sorry. It was 2021.
Oh, okay.
22 years.
That's a big
that's a
difference.
big difference.
It's actually,
22 years
actually,
ago.
have you watched stuff from 2000?
Well, that
It's like
one year.
1990.
I went to get my hearing checked, and so I was in my 30s at the time, early 30s, and the hearing doctor was like, he did the test, and he was like, you have the hearing of a 65-year-old. Which is not what you want to hear. But then you want to go, how do you quantify that? So then it was a whole science thing. But I actually do have dead parts in my hearing. It's really weird because when you go to do the hearing test, they do the sound, right? And if you don't hear it, they increase the volume. But it gets to a point where you actually can feel the air pressure. And
so you know that sound is happening.
Right. And so I literally asked the guy, I'm like, okay, I hear the so that's what I feel. I feel so I feel the air. Do I hit the little button? Because I know you made a noise. And they were like, no, you do not hit the button at all.
Only if you hear it.
Only if you hear
Federico makes a good point. Just think here in Europe where we have dozens of languages for 350 million people.
My goodness.
I mean, yeah, you got... But whatever,
really?
Federico. All of you guys know how to speak everybody else's language, unlike here in America where we choose only to speak one.
Well, to be fair,
except for when we're in
that,
high school and middle school, when we're forced to learn at least one other that we quickly forget and can remember keywords like manzanita and Dio de los Librarios. No, that didn't even make sense, what I just said. And it's biblioteca.
But if I can go my American centricism mind here, that's likely because if you're in the country, you can drive for 12 hours in any direction and still be in the same country. In Europe, you drive 12 hours in any direction. You go through 5 different countries and speak 5 different languages.
Hence why world wars started. They're too close together.
But seriously, all right, speaking of languages, though, what has always fascinated me about Europe is that
they're more willing to learn about other people and get to know them.
There's that.
Yes and no at the same time.
Well, except for
except
for
many times, yes.
Depends on the century.
Yes.
No, but all right. So France, Germany, Italy, Spain, very close to each other. We're not gonna bring England into this because they're separated by water.
That's weird. That's weird that he could be in Slovenia if he walks whatever 5 kilometers is in miles.
That's right down my road.
So, what has always fascinated me is you have these countries, these groups that are right next to each other. 5 that can just France, Germany, Italy, Spain. I guess it's 4. But anyway, you have those 4 countries, but they have 4 different languages. How does that happen? It just seems like to me, like here.
This is a good question.
Here in the U.S.,
because we came over with one and we eradicated everybody else.
But
we didn't come over with one. We came over with a couple.
But you have like what was it? We bought the shit from the French or something.
Yeah, Louisiana Purchase in 1903.
Yeah, that one. But South Carolina to California separated by.
I'm sorry, 1803. I said 1903. I meant 1803.
Like 3,500 miles or something like that. California originally, a lot of people speaking Spanish and stuff like that, but it's all English now, and I realize we've had 2 centuries and stuff, but France, Germany, Italy, realizing Italy is separated by some mountains with Germany and France, but they're so close to each other. How do you have such different
France and Italy, they're part of the Romance languages, whereas Germany is not. German's not a Romance language.
But it's not Romance because it sounds romantic. It's Romance because it's Latinized, based in a separate language.
It's also because it sounds romantic.
It's not at all based off of that.
It's 100%. Have you watched the Hallmark Channel? It definitely is.
But it's based off of a variety of tribes, and they all
Right, but German is not Latin.
We
so.
just Federico says we just didn't want to mess with France. Yeah, the French they're so
the
full
Franks,
of bread
they're
and
too
cheese.
frank, honestly.
I mean, really, they got a big baguette up themselves.
I mean, everybody hates the French.
Except for we love their fries.
But I hear the fries are Belgian. No, wait a minute, hold it. That might be waffles.
Waffles, Belgian waffles.
No, no. Oh, actually, I heard French fries.
I mean, we stole pizza from the Italians.
No, it's true.
I know, we do it better than Italians, though.
No.
Sorry, Federico, my guy.
What a Neapolitan
I've been
pizza.
up and down Italy.
Or a margarita.
I still think a good American pizza. I am so sorry. I still think it can be improved on from the Italian version. I'm so sorry.
That's only because you want more cheese and more meat.
No, but I
the
seriously...
pasta unrivaled in Italy.
I seriously think that French fries, they say it's French, it's actually Belgian.
Oh.
But I might be confusing
I don't know. Look
But-
at me. I
but
don't
I
even
do
know
think-
basic geography of the United States. Where's Ohio? I don't know. It's somewhere over there past the middle.
But even Denmark was attached to something.
They were all
There.
attached to something, and they were all based.
It's either attached to Germany or
I
France.
mean,
or whatever.
it's all the Italian tribes conquered by Romans who conquered the Greeks, who then went and tried to conquer all the Germanic tribes, but then they got too cocky of themselves and their leaders got a little bit fucking crazy. Which
I do want to say that at some point in my life, I want you and I to go on an
safari.
Italian tour of food.
How about just a whole,
Italian tour?
No, just let's honor Anthony Bourdain and I would love to just travel the world for the best food spots.
No,
You have a couple
seriously.
years, it gets boring after a while.
What?
That's because you have to work while doing it. This would be.
And Bourdain wasn't?
But
Okay, there was a time.
Bourdain had his own demons.
There was a time with my current employer when I did travel, and my highlight was always just trying the food, and from trying.
Is that Welsh, Jack? Is that Welsh?
What the hell is that? Anyway,
is that Elvish?
but going to Poland and getting all the pierogies. And just so
Keep your nasty
the
pierogies.
guy that ran the planetarium at the time, Tomas was his name. I'm about ready to go home,
I
and
wasn't sure if I heard a dog whining.
I thought I heard that too, but he and his
Scottish.
partner, they took me out to this restaurant and they gave me a tour of Poland through pierogies. And they told me this area, Poland's not big. It's not big.
But easily walked on.
Compared, that is true.
Too soon?
When we're comparing it to the U.S., it's not that big. But he's telling me how this region has its pierogies, and this is what it is, and this region has its pierogies, and how for their family get-togethers, like at Christmas, how it really is very. Oh, you're bringing in this regional pierogies? No, we can't do that. And so it's
the pierogi nationalism. It's
yeah.
pierogi.
But even going to Hyderabad, India.
Okay.
They were talking about when they took me to this restaurant. They were talking about how Hyderabad really is this real nexus of all these spices that come in, and just the food.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And going to China, the best thing was not the the institution's
communism?
cafeteria, but actually going out to a restaurant. And
every time Peking duck is mentioned, he just starts raving about actual Peking duck in China. And
God,
I get it.
it was so good. It was so good.
I will say with India, if you're offered the chutney, don't take the chutney.
Oh, if you have a good
It's got to be
stomach.
where you're at.
No. It's as they told me the day after. It is a natural diuretic. It tastes delicious, but naturally that's what it does.
Oh, well, if you need your system cleared out,
You
have
know,
the chutney.
Oh my God.
If you're feeling a little backed up, have the
well,
chutney.
there you go.
But I mean, that's everywhere. look at the South and barbecue. Each
Right.
region
We have
of
hot
the
dogs.
South has their different things. There's no I would say, yeah. So American, apple pie is associated with America, or hot
It's
dogs
not.
or something. But I mean, there's a regional food, Creole food, and there's
Creole food, okay.
And-
So of all the food I've had in this country, I think the only food that can really rival flavor, the variety of flavors and the amounts of intensities to it, is Creole food down in the Bayou, New Orleans
Okay,
area.
yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. Being from the South, which has got lots of flavors and stuff. And, okay, so my sister's getting married next July. And
Opa!
huzzah, right? And it's going to be this big Catholic wedding, which I'm not really looking forward
so
to.
much standing up and sitting down.
a lot
Federico knows all about that.
of degradation
Sure.
of women.
But one of the things that I'm really
It's a meet and greet.
excited about is that I get to really introduce Liz to
Real barbecue.
real barbecue. And one of the things that we're going to do is go to Charleston, because Charleston, South Carolina, which has a lot of history in it, and Liz loves to touch history.
Wonderful history that Americans really love acknowledging and being
I been to
apologetic
Charleston?
for.
No, we don't have a dome there, but you may have been there. I can't say for sure, but it wasn't for Planetarium stuff. But I'm hoping that we stop in Hemingway, South Carolina, which will be a little bit of a detour.
Yeah.
But they have the just most incredible vinegar-based barbecue, and it's going to be.
Mike makes a mean vinegar-based barbecue.
He does.
Sauce.
I don't like vinegar, but Mike makes a good one.
It has spicy too, so
it's got a kick.
It's not for
It's
my
got a
mom.
kick.
Let's say it's not for my mom.
So my mom, mom of the podcast, my mom will tell you
Southern podcast mom.
that there is a story about how when I'm like 3 or 4 years old, eating barbecue down at my grandmother's basically barbecue hut that she would go to, where I would eat barbecue, which is vinegar based, which is hot. It's hot. Podcast mom, not gonna like it because it's hot. I would take a bite and just wipe my tongue with my hand, and take another bite and just wipe my tongue with my hand to get that.
You're wiping the heat off a little bit.
I was wiping the heat
That's
off.
fabulous. That's absolutely
But
fabulous.
I so love it. I do love it.
Good
I
stuff.
do. My favorite barbecue sauce.
You have
is
more of
vinegar.
the. I think you have more of the. Well, I mean, on the West Coast, there's, in San Francisco at least, there's like Chinatown, so there's a huge, authentic Chinese food market, and you have these different. But there's no real like the South. You could be like barbecue in the South and the varieties of barbecue in it. But on the West Coast, there isn't really that sort of like a food dish.
Right. So, go ahead, Brandon.
I'm gonna keep on the subject, kind of change it, so you continue. And
I was going to say that for the South, what we have, we are going to have barbecue, true barbecue, not what this Texas bastardization that they do.
Well, it's Texas. We know what they like to do is just fuck everything up.
First of all, barbecue should be cooked in the sauce.
Yes, he's very much a cook in the sauce kind of a.
My goodness.
So you really get when you cook barbecue in the sauce, you actually really get you really get the flavors that just kind of seep into it, and it becomes one with the meat. And
This episode not for vegans.
right, and so when you do go to Texas, you do get the meat, and then you put the sauce on it.
The greatest barbecue I've ever had was in Texas.
Okay.
Have you
Austin.
been to
And
there was
South
brisket?
no
Carolina?
sauce and balls.
But the brisket
was
is
brisket.
different.
Okay.
Brisket is
Okay.
different.
But your pulled porks.
pulled
Your
pork.
ribs.
That's a different game. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so when we talk barbecue in the South, you do have brisket, which is phenomenal, and I'm not. But to me, brisket is not barbecue.
Oh.
Throwing down the gauntlets.
For me, barbecue is your pulled pork, your chicken, that type of thing, where you actually do put the sauce on it because the sauce is part of the barbecue
Alright.
experience.
Okay.
But that's me. But that's because I was raised in South Carolina, and so I have a different a view of barbecue than they do in Texas and that type of thing. So South Carolina barbecue is different from Texas barbecue, which is different from North Carolina barbecue and that type of thing. But when you do cook the meat with the sauce, it just becomes one, and it's just a different experience than you do when you're just pouring
Pouring it on.
Right, because then
It's like you have the taste of the meat and then the taste of the barbecue sauce.
Right, because think of it as a salad. You just put
the dressing on the salad.
Dressing on the
which
salad.
Apparently Jack lives in the part of the U.S. where salads that aren't really salads. I'm guessing.
I would love to know more about that. But
yes.
But you know, I fully admit that I'm a barbecue snob, a barbecue elitist, and if I do go to your barbecue hut, I will tell you that you have good barbecue, but deep inside I'm like, it's in South Carolina barbecue.
We gotta try the ribs at the place that's by us.
What's that?
We gotta try the ribs at the place that's
we do,
or
but
the barbecue.
Ooh, ribs!
thing.
I want that tonight.
I got
What's those ribs near me?
But you know, like when we have ribs, we will marinate.
Yeah.
We're trying to do it overnight now.
Bye, Mom. Have fun at your agility seminar.
Oh,
Bye, podcast mom.
we do try to marinate the sauce overnight, the vinegar, so it like seeps into the ribs, and I don't know. I'm a snob.
Jack says Jello salads, mayo salads, marshmallows needed, and cottage cheese with fruit.
My heart hurts.
Wait, what? That's not a salad.
A salad.
Mayo
You know
salad.
what? In the 50s or whenever it was, they would make anything into like
That's
Jello.
like a parfait.
It would they would put anything in Jello.
Minus mayo.
Everyone loves parfaits.
Everything was like jellified in like the 50s, like and those classic like bunt pan kind of it's deli, yeah. But I mean, I won't say no to marshmallows in a lot of things.
No. But everybody, come over to our house. We'll make barbecue for you.
I think, so you talked about hot dishes. The hottest, spiciest dish I ever had was this year in Bangladesh.
Ooh, I can imagine that, yeah.
It was some kind of chicken, I think, with oyster sauce. First of all, so Bangladesh shares a border with India, so I thought they'd be kind of similar. If you just look from a distance, sure, it's kind of similar, but then you get close, completely different world. Everything has meat in it for one, and holy fucking shit, was it hot! This oyster sauce dish I had, one bite I knew this is the hottest thing I've ever eaten. But I had a day I was so hungry, I ate all of it, and it was delicious.
Oh, I mean, yeah, they definitely know how to do spices.
But it tasted so
world.
fucking good, my God.
But yeah, the spices, they know how to do spices.
Oh, yeah, so the other thing is you can't just have glasses of water, because you have to get bottles of water. So every time I finished a bottle of water, I would have to point to them, because in that part of the world, they don't come check on you. You have to call them out and say, hey, I need you, come here. And for me, I don't like doing that. So I felt really awkward, sweating, and saying, I need more water.
Yes,
right, but water's the worst thing you can do. So okay.
There was nothing else. There was nothing else there. Is that?
No, I get it. So there was. I spent a summer at the Indiana University cyclotron facility where I worked on a project about neutrons. Interestingly enough, which has nothing to do with the cyclotron. However, we did go to Fermilab outside of Chicago.
Yeah.
And there was a guy that was part of the program that I was in, and we went to a Chinese restaurant, and we ordered Chinese food, and he got Hunan food, and we told him this was spicy.
Oh,
this guy
Szechuan is spicy.
This
I
guy,
thought Hunan was the more mild.
no.
'Cause
Oh, I'm sorry.
Szechuan is the spicy region.
Okay, then you got Szechuan, but Hunan is also spicy.
Oh, okay.
But he's like your mom. He's like your mom.
where he can't handle
So
any,
does not like the spicy stuff. And we told him it was spicy, and he got it anyway.
Okay, both are. Both are.
And he would eat some of it and have water, and we told him that is not what you need to do. It's just going to spread it around, and it's just going to be worse for you. And oh god, he had a hard time.
Yeah, but in Bangladesh, that was it. There was no other juices.
Yeah.
There's no alcohol there.
Well, because
milk.
their palates are used to the spicier food, so they don't need.
Oh my god, that takes me a whole down another avenue of the Bangladesh food. But
I do want to hit on Federico's great difference from Italy and the U.S. is that they don't have sauces. You know, it's usually oil, vinegar, and salt and things. Which that's why there's a difference in sizes between the U.S. and Italy as well. A lot more plus sizes. A lot more plus sizes.
Oh, got you.
A lot more plus sizes here in the U.S. because we like our sauces, like the ranches.
I feel called out.
Except Brandon does
I really
not like
want
the ranch.
ribs.
Oh shit! Do we have ribs?
I have salmon already defrosted.
No, I know, but do we have ribs in the
find
freezer?
Ribs. So in any case, folks, we've been going on a hangover for about an hour now.
Yeah, we're just we're taking a long
We're
break, so
hangovering.
we're really hangovering it, you know.
Yeah, but are people enjoying it?
Well, they're participating.
They are.
So they're clearly still watching us, except for my mom who had to go to her agility seminar.
So if we continue the hangover, I need to use the facilities.
I think we should probably wrap it.
Okay.
I mean, we've talked most of the episode just about food.
I really want
Aw, thanks.
ribs. Thank you.
Anyway. Oh, I'm
You're
leading
in
it.
charge.
That's right. I'm in charge. I'm just like somebody else.
This is
taking
Liz's
over now.
episode. All right.
I've only had the one beer. That's
If
it.
I am in town, I will lead the next episode.
That is going to be, when is it? September
24th. High in the
Yes.
sky. Damn it, Brandon.
September 24th, where we talk about October's High in the Sky.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, anyway, there's an eclipse in October. I'm
There
excited
is.
about
Is it a total eclipse of the heart?
it. Oh, okay.
It is a
well
total
done.
eclipse
well done,
of
but
the
no.
sun.
Every
Or an
night.
annular
No,
eclipse
it's
of
an
us.
annular
It's an
eclipse.
annular eclipse of the sun.
Yeah. So you're in charge.
I know.
Go.
Okay. All right. Anyway, this has definitely been a hangover-y hangover. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again September 24th. We'll be back, but follow us on all the things in the meantime at Drinking Cosmos on Twitter /
No, just Twitter.
And Twitter. Drinking Cosmos to Cosmos everywhere else. We will have the shot with Cosmos to Cosmos, little shot-sized bits of astronomy science coming at you every other Wednesday still while we're on break. But in the meantime, live long and prosper.
Cheers,
Stay safe, y'all.
Peace. I forgot. I gotta do this manually. Here we go.
Why are
Ready?
you never prepared to do that?
I'm never prepared to say goodbye.
Oh my goodness! I just need to end.
Oh, and Federico's
I'm not
gonna
even
go
gonna
have
wait. I'm just gonna go use the restroom.
get spaghettified.
Hey, Federico is
Federico.
late for spaghetti.
All
I'm
All
just
right.
telling
Anyway,
you.
bye.
Ugh.